this video in the series, Learn to Play Blues Guitar. And in this video, we'll be talking about phrasing, a very important thing. Let's just jump in. I've got a collection of phrases that we'll be looking at. A very simple one. The first one is just one bar long. It's using triplets, which is the same as the groove here, which we'll also call a shuffle. Each beat has a triplet, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. So to make a phrase sound interesting, we use different devices. One of them is bending. All of the phrases that we'll be looking at today I've got as a PDF for you to download, free of charge, of course. So bending can be slow or faster. It's your decision. Both of them are good. But very important is when you're bending is that you bend to the note that you want to go to. In this case, it has to be D flat. So not too low, not like that, not like that, that's too high. You can also slide up to the D flat and slide back down. The slides happen in that you hit the note below where you want to slide to, in this case the C, and without using your right hand, your picking hand again, you just slide up. So there's no attack on it. And the same thing in reverse. When we listen to famous blues players, we should also be checking what sort of vibrato do they use. B.B. King is, of course, very well known, and he would often choose a fast vibrato. It's hard to do that, play the fast vibrato. There's a lot of energy you need. In another video, we'll be talking about that, the video on transcribing. We'll be listening to real solos and analysing things like their vibrato and other things they use in their phrasing. So another thing which is very specific for guitar is the fingerings we use. Now I've written this phrase with a specific fingering, which happens there on the D string and the G string. So it's a string pair that's tuned in a fourth from each other. So that means if we pick another G and the next string is also tuned a fourth higher, then the fingering will be the same. So that's pretty cool for us because we only have to learn one fingering, and we've now got quite a few places that we can play the same phrase. Of course, we have dynamics. How hard do we hit the strings? Very soft, or gradually increasing in volume. So it's got a gradual increase in volume, which of course it's all about the message that we want to get across to our listeners. So getting louder will probably grab their attention more than if you just play on the same level. See? So just experiment with that. Once you know your phrase, you don't need to concentrate on what your other hand is doing, what your fingers are doing, in this case the left hand, because it's just something we've been doing over and over. Now we're concentrating on what the right hand is doing. The other thing you can try is, of course, not using a pick. That's a whole new world of possibilities. You've got to experiment with these techniques just to get used to the sound effect that they create. Another thing is finger style, where you're using your thumb and your index finger. In this case, the thumb plays the D string and the index finger plucks the G string. And if you're using more than 2 strings, of course, then you might also want to use your second finger as well. There may be other things that I haven't mentioned. I think these are the most important techniques, the ones we've already talked about. The other thing is we have to learn a lot of blues phrases to develop our blues language. Once we have a selection of phrases, of course we can concentrate on the phrasing, how we're going to play them. The word licks is used. I prefer phrases, but they are the same thing, I think. It's comparable to a phrase in the language that we speak, a collection of different words. Let's look at some of these phrases. They're all 1 bar long. If you want to, you can connect them so that your phrase becomes 2 bars long. It's up to you to decide how long you want your phrases to be. Let's look at the phrases on the PDF. We've already played the first one. Phrase number 2 is very simple and using a triplet. So the question is, what can we do with, for example, different fingerings? The fingering I've written is in the 3rd position. We can do a pull-off there. And we can also bend up the F to a G. Another fingering we could try is here, in the 6th. Anywhere you can find that B flat will be a good starting point. See, now we're using an open G string. Here's a B flat. And another one up here. So you notice I'm bending the B flat also. And that's very common to bend the minor 3rd, which is actually what we call a sharp 9. In G7 chord, that B flat is a sharp 9. Bending it up a bit brings it closer to the major 3rd that's in the chord itself. But that doesn't sound very bluesy if we go straight for the major 3rd. So that's why I try that. Often we listen to a solo, we listen to a recording, and we're fascinated by the way a note is bent up to, for example, this one. It's not quite the major 3rd. Look for your fingerings. Try also different right-hand techniques using your thumb or your fingers. One thing that's really important when we're considering phrasing is being able to play on different parts of the beat. Like laid back is of course well known, playing behind the beat, playing on the beat, and playing ahead of the beat. Each of those ways of phrasing create a certain expression. Let's look at the first phrase and different phrasing that we can use. I'm going to finish up with another improvisation over the blues, and I'll see you in the next video.